cook. Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said let him cook.
Welcome to the makings of a madman. Mad men get shit done, it's a passion. Has-beens can't get close to my lab, man. Since I stopped feeding these suckers, they fast. And this is the reason that I move so fast, man. Rewrote the story and threw out the cast. Fuck all the credit, man, I want the cash. I am the running man, you in the past. Too far ahead of you, you cannot see me. I'm stronger and better, you slept on your Wheaties. I got it together, you fall into pieces. I should be calling you Reese's. It should be illegal to teach this, but somebody dared me to do it. So I said, well, damn, I'ma do it. That somebody was me, man.
Let him cook. Let him cook now. Let him cook. I said let him cook.
Welcome to the makings of a madman. Mad men get shit done, it's a passion. Has-beens can't get close to my lab, man. Since I stopped feeding these suckers, they fast. And this is the reason that I move so fast. Rewrote the story and threw out the cast. Fuck all the credit, man, I want the cash. I am the running man, you in the past. Too far ahead of you, you cannot see me. I'm stronger and better, you slept on your Wheaties. I got it together, you fall into pieces. I should be calling you Reese's. It should be illegal to teach this, but somebody dared me to do it. So I said, well, damn, I'ma do it. That somebody was me, man.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back into another Sunday session. It feels like it's been since forever since I've been in front of this camera, live in front of y'all, man. I am so glad to be here. So glad to be back. I'm so amped for today's conversation for a plethora of reasons, man. Man, I see y'all like the song. Thank you, man. That's one we did a while back. Just something I did for a series we did when we had a conversation called Mad. And just for the way that I'm gonna have to go a little bit in today's conversation, I even got Morpheus over my shoulder just to make it clear. For the way that I'm gonna have to go for today's conversation a little bit, I thought that was the perfect the perfect opener. So thank you all for being here with me today, man. Again, I got to say, I am so glad to be back. I haven't been back live for Sunday sessions in about 2 weeks now. And then even before that, I wasn't necessarily doing the talking or leading the conversation. It was just with other people on. And so it feels good to be back. Over the next 2 weeks, I'm going to have some special guests with me. Next week, I have Joe with me, Joe Pittinger, and I promise you it's going to be incredible for you. And then the week after that, I got Steve. Oh, my goodness, we're going to talk. But you will see all of that promo stuff coming up for it as we go. Are y'all excited about today's conversation, man? Are y'all excited to be here? Let me look at this chat before I get locked in, man. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Love y'all. Yeah, I should be calling you Reese's. Yes. I love music. I love to create music. I love whether it's like chants, whether it's anthems, whether it's hip hop, whether it's blues. I even wrote a little Western song earlier this week. Oh, it was last week. Love music. So that's always going to be a part of what we do here. Let me get these announcements real quick. And then we're going to jump into today's conversation, which I promise you it's going to be a good one. Liftoff weekend was amazing. And really, y'all have not seen me since Liftoff weekend. And so I do kind of want to share some of the photos. We're still gathering all of the photos from the weekend, but I do have the photos from that Saturday. And so there you see us. That's Ashley, our head of community. That's Robert, our head of product. I'm not going to tell everybody's name because I don't know who want their business out there and not. I'm showing the picture. That's bad enough. But I did tell them if we take your picture, if you get in the picture, it's going to be blasted everywhere. One of the things that I was incredibly impressed by, and again, our community in Southern California, these people did not know each other months ago, 4 or 5 months ago. Some of these people just joined the group within the last few weeks or so before Liftoff weekend. But as you can see, one of the things that I absolutely love And maybe this is just a side effect of our first event being in Southern California. But do y'all see the diversity in these pictures? Like, oh my goodness, it was amazing. And the beautiful thing about it was, it wasn't something we had to be intentional about, man. I think that's the beautiful thing about this vision, is this vision just really attracts that. So we had just an amazing time. Hey there, Bob. It's nice to see you, bro. And so these are some of the pictures. Man, me, Getty, and Ashley took a lot of pictures. I guess we were feeling it. These are Friday's pictures, actually. That's Friday. I can tell by what I'm wearing. This is Holly. She was one of the presenters at the Rise event. Oh my goodness, that was amazing. This is Robert. Y'all have seen Robert on the channel with me. He's an incredible friend and partner. Like, oh my goodness. He shared his story of how he got to the point of connecting with the bridge, how connecting with Bridge City, how he got to the point, and different spiritual journeys that he's been on, which just opened up so many conversations for other people to get into as well. Because though we oftentimes, and I'm not in my notes yet, but in this community, sometimes we just hyper focus on people's religious journeys with specific religion. But then there's also personal growth movements. There's also spiritual journeys. And many of them also have their own bits and pieces that you have to kind of deconstruct and navigate through. And so he did an incredible job of tying that in. This should have been something that we should have had recorded just from beginning to end, because it was just powerful conversation. And then y'all can see the room we were in. Like, our host was absolutely amazing, created a spot for us that was perfect. And so I wanted to share a few of those videos with you, or share a few of those photos with you, so you see what building community looks like, man. Again, these a few months ago, these people were all strangers. And now they know each other. They're friends. You got people of different backgrounds. Hey, Sherry. People of different backgrounds, people of different cultures, people of different creeds, people of different races, people of different ages, people of different identities, of ideas. This brother right here, I don't know if y'all can see my mouse, but his name is Hector, and he was one of the newer members of the group. And I love one of the things that he said as we were all convening on Saturday night. And he said, you know what I love about this community? He said, this is a community that we don't have to have shared minds to be a part of. We have shared hearts. Yeah, that's what he said. We're not a like-minded community. We're a like-hearted community. And I'm like, yes, I love it when people get that. Hector was just full of all types of goodness. And as you can see, like, we had real food, man. Like, we had real food, had a good time. This is us all together on Saturday night. I'm not going to bore you too much longer, but I just wanted y'all to see, like, this is what it looks like. This is what we're in this for, to build community, to build spaces, to make our humanism matter. It's typically what I call, from an academic's perspective, or even from a practitioner's perspective, it is applied humanism. And that's what Bridge City is doing. Our vision, why do we do this? Why do we do this? Because people matter. They matter. We do this because people need these types of things. And so we had a wonderful time. El never smiles in his pictures. I don't know why, but we had a wonderful time, and I wanted to share. Let me get back. Okay, there we go. All right, so let me get out of that before y'all start seeing my personal photos. We don't need to be releasing no pics out here. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that right, Morpheus? That's right. All right, so wonderful time. Glad you've seen the pictures. I am both glad to be back, and I can't wait to actually get back to Southern California with our crew there. It's wonderful. They really do have me wanting to move there. I mean, the weather is nice. The opportunity is great. It's wonderful. Before I move on, I do want to share three outcomes that we kind of noticed out of this event, because we spent Friday, Saturday, and Sunday together, the majority of us. Los Angeles, yeah, I think you were the one that was trying to get there and couldn't get in. We're definitely going to get you involved. I know I refunded your ticket, but yes, I see you, Hoja, and check me if I'm not pronouncing your name right. But yes, have you filled out the form that's a thing below, in the description below? And you know, My head of community is probably going to kill me for doing this, but I'm going to do it anyway. You can also join our app at bridgecity.app. Now, and the reason I say our head of community is probably going to kill me because we don't have an onboarding system built in yet for that. So I'm just letting anybody in right now. But no, you can go bridgecity.app and you'll get immediate access to the team, to where everybody is. And there's plenty of places to chat and talk and all of that. But three outcomes we noticed, because Robert, he likes to approach things from a systems design way. And so in systems thinking, he says what we're paying attention to is what the outcomes of this is. And three outcomes that we noticed that I absolutely loved. The first one was hospitality. From the moment we got in each other's presence, everybody was treating each other well. From the moment we got there, everybody was considerate of each other, compassionate for each other. It was absolute hospitality. I think me, Ashley, Natalie, TK, and some others, we were carrying a whole bunch of stuff, and Robert, and then L just comes and says, man, let me get that. And then we get in there and everybody can see that I still sweat like a big boy. And so I'm in the room and I'm still doing stuff, and Ashley's sending me to do this and do this. And L is like, man, sit down somewhere. No, it was beautiful. It was hospitality. People were literally, you don't use the word sing. I prefer to use the word supporting or empowering. And that's what it felt like. People were supporting each other and people were empowering each other's need to just exist in a room without having to pretend or without having to perform. Another outcome we saw was entertainment. The mic sound, does my mic sound a little scratchy? What's going on with my mic? I don't know. But another thing that came out of it was entertainment. Like, we had one hell of a good time. We kept each other entertained. I think I've shared this with y'all before. At one point, I think it was on the Saturday night, there are microphone issues. What are the microphone issues? Can y'all hear clearly? Because I don't want y'all not hearing me now. Can you hear me now? How about that? Does that do anything? Y'all talk to me. But just people started singing like gospel music at one point. I mean, partly because they're drunk, right? But they were singing gospel music and having a good time. And I had to stop and say, hey, is anybody triggered by this? Because we wanted to be that considerate, and nobody was. It was just a wonderful time. It was like singing Christmas carols. And the third thing that came out of this, and I'm sharing this because this is what happens when you build community, at least the types of communities that I'm trying to build. This is what happens. The third thing that came out of it was motivation. I wonder why that is. It's going to bother me now, y'all. The third thing that came out was motivation. People were motivating each other. People were pulling out quotes. You almost felt like you were at a TED Talk. People were like literally inspired. Like Ashley was like running on 15. And I was sitting there like, man, this is absolutely beautiful. These people are seeing the vision. They're feeling the vision. They're being motivated by the mission. And so when we're building community, when we're building healthy community and intentional community, that's what you get out of that. You get that hospitality, that entertainment, and that motivation. That's the Bridge City difference. Okay. So let's jump into today's conversation, which now I'm a little mad that y'all told me I sound scratchy. Oh man. So let's jump into today's conversation. In 2023, I was in a business meeting that I was really excited about. I had put the finishing touches on a proof of concept for an app that I was convinced could completely disrupt modern education and personal growth. I planned, designed, and developed the entire platform myself, pushing my meager coding skills to the brink of a beautiful mind, if you know what I mean. And the person I was having the meeting with was really excited and impressed by the app, how much work I put into it, and they were overwhelmed with excitement. And then in the midst of their excitement, the person insisted that we needed to pray so that Jesus could bless the endeavor. Now, I remember thinking in myself, because this person knew that I was an atheist, but in my formerly typical people-pleasing nature, I acquiesced and led the prayer. Afterwards, I decided that I no longer wanted to consider doing business with anyone who could not respect my humanity. And it wasn't just that one moment, right? So it's not something that I hold against that one person. This occurred at a time that I just so happened to be allowing my mother to yet again try to make up for lost time by coming over for family dinners on Sundays. And when she'd come over, she'd make it a point to blast gospel music through my house and insist that I bless the food, fully knowing that I was an atheist. And see, it wasn't just that. My baby sister would sometimes get in her episodes where she felt the need to remind me of how good Jehovah had been to her. And it wasn't just that. Many of my pastor friends were constantly hounding me about coming back to the fold as if my non-belief would eventually fade. People were holding my life active to their expectations, to their values, and to their ideals. And I was still so dislodged from the authenticity of my own autonomy that I was allowing it. I was prioritizing their comfort, their values, their needs over my own, under the misguided belief that I was somehow doing the right thing. That somehow politeness was sacred and worth my own discomfort and subjugation. And that's why in that meeting in 2023, I acquiesced. I prayed and performed so that others could be pleased while pleading myself of my own determination to be. A month after that meeting is when I started sharing content on YouTube. It's when I decided to start exposing my authentic self to the world so that it could no longer be casually denied. But it wasn't just the pretense of belief that I was shedding. No, you got to hear me clearly here. It was also the pretense of people-pleasing and unnecessary politeness. I got to be honest with you. I've become somewhat of a monster in my resoluteness of what is me. In the words of Hitchens-level, I'll cut my granny off if she don't see it how I see it. And I have. I'm not some non-playable character that you can submit to your expectations. The same rights that I extend to others and their lived experiences, I absolutely and unapologetically demand for myself. I will never again second myself for the preferences of others. I don't owe you that. See, when my channel, I don't mean to be preaching this early, but when my channel first started to hit, one of the long-standing organizations in the community offered me the role of volunteer host, but under the condition that I suspend my Sunday shows like this one right here. I declined what seemed like the opportunity of a lifetime for most because I determined that I don't owe you that. I know the thoughts and the plans that I have for myself, and I get to choose what days I do anything on. Even since venturing out of the prayer closet, people have consistently tried to satisfy their curiosity at my expense by attempting to engage me in debate and conversation that has zero utility for me. They want explanations and what have you, and each time I have to resolutely remind them, hey boo, I don't owe you that. I'm not your teacher. Go educate yourself. Be responsible for your own curiosity. I wouldn't come to your ass for my answers. No. And so then, excuse me. And so then, 6 days ago, I received an email from the organizers of a conference that I may be speaking at in Canada with the flyer for the event. Pretty excited about it. It's my first time going to Canada, you know. So I shared the flyer on my Facebook page with my personal Facebook page with a simple save the date caption. A black non-believer intended, but decided to comment on the post words, only one person of color, you need more. Now, mind you, I'm not the organizer of this event. I was just invited and accepted. Now, to be clear, though this person and I have shared platforms once or twice, she's never once engaged in my posts. We have zero relationship or familiarity. This person is also a veteran in the secular community and is familiar with the event and the organization that promotes it, meaning that she knows full well that I am not the organizer of the event. I share the event as I share any event that I'm committed to attend. And yet she accosted me as the person who needed to add more color, as if I was somehow responsible for being the only African American invited. Now, I found this approach to be both petty and cowardly because you didn't put it on their page. You put it on mine. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if y'all know how I feel about childishness, but I have a whole video on it. If this was a genuine complaint, It should have been filed with the organization and likely not even on their public profile unless good faith conversations had deteriorated. Instead, it was brought to my page by a practical stranger who holds no relevance with me or apparently the organizers, even though they hadn't done this to Dr. Anthony Penn, with whom they have a relationship and was a guest last year. Her organization is very familiar with the organizers as they were invited and disinvited to the same event years prior. So it was clear to me that this was less about the event's lack of diversity and more about my presence at the event in the absence of their favorite Black person. See, just because you playing stupid don't mean I have to play with you. So my question to the person was, why not bring this up with the organizers? And they said they didn't want to. They wanted to bring it up on my page. And so my request was that they not use my page for their issues with that organization. To which they responded, why can't I do it here? Now imagine that. A grown-ass adult asking me why they can't express their grievances against another party on my page. How about this? Because it's my page. Y'all ready for this? And I don't owe you that. I don't even know you. You know? So then last night, that's why I'm talking about it. And then last night, 5 whole days later, the great white hope shows up, the voice of reason, and says, well, I'd like to know why she can't discuss it either. Now, I politely responded. Me requesting not to have it on my page is reason enough. It's as simple as that. Me asking someone not to put something on my page after they've done it. Me saying, hey, well, I would appreciate if you keep this type of stuff on your page. I don't owe anybody else an explanation. It's really as simple as that. So she was offended that I didn't offer her a satisfactory reasoning as to why her friends couldn't hijack my profile for their grievances against an organization that wasn't even tagged in the post. And so she persisted to attempt to, I guess, shame me into doing what she wanted me to do. And so now I'm looking like, oh, so you slow too, huh? So you don't understand that your needs stop at the boundaries between you and I. You don't get that my personal profile doesn't belong to you, nor your expectations. You don't get that as a complete fucking stranger that you don't get to moderate my responses and compel me to engage in a conversation that I've already declined. In all capital letters, who the fuck are you? No, if we are to continue in any type of engagement, we need to be clear on what is owed and what is not, and what is for damn sure is that I do not owe you that. If you cross that line, I will gladly tell you to fuck off, and I don't give a damn about your sensibilities. As for you, as a complete stranger who crossed the line, do y'all hear me in the back? I don't owe you that. Your values, beliefs, ideas, and opinions are for you, not for me, beloved. You cannot force me on your bandwagon. I do not owe you an explanation for my ideas, my desire, my existence, or my intentions. Social media will have you forgetting that you are a stranger and that we have no relationship that obliges one to the other. I don't owe you that. That's why some of you are barely making it now, because you keep getting what you don't owe. That's why you're miserable, emotionally bankrupt, angry, and depressed all the damn time, because you keep letting people drag you into debt over behavior that is not owed. I am preaching better than y'all responded, and I love you, but I will not join you there. Why? Because I don't owe you that. All right? Are we clear? Are we clear now? Heard that. Now that you've heard that straight from the horse's mouth, let's transform this into a conversation worth having. Okay? If you haven't guessed by now, the title of this weekend's conversation is, I don't owe you that. I don't owe you that. And I had to address that real quickly, because apparently there are people in the secular community who consider themselves wanting to cancel me because I told a white lady to fuck off. And so if you don't know, if you don't know me by now, you will never know me. I don't owe you that. All right? All right. So let's get into this. This is going to be, was that good for y'all? Did that help anybody? Did that set anybody free? Because no, I really mean this. I really mean this, and y'all have heard me stand on this. I've been standing on this 10 toes ever since I got in. You don't owe anybody else's your existence. You don't owe anybody else's. I know the mic is messed up. I don't know what's going on, but I can't stop what I'm doing the work. Just flow with it, man, or just, I don't know what to tell you. But listen. I want you to know, like, you got to be very careful with people. Like, no, I don't owe you anything. You're not going to pull me into a conversation that I don't want to be in. I don't owe you. This ain't the Jim Crow South. I don't have to answer your questions. I don't have to look. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, who's you? All right. So the question, what do we owe each other, can't live honestly without its counterpart. What don't we owe each other? Because freedom isn't just the right to speak. It's the right not to perform. So I want to talk through a few things that we don't owe each other. I want to talk through this and work this thing now. That's right. If you don't know me by now, people funny, man. I just like, oh, y'all don't know I cuss? Y'all didn't know I cuss? Oh, you thought you were gonna force me in a conversation and not get your ass cussed out? Nah. Now you know. Now you know. Okay, so let's talk about some things we don't owe each other. And this is something that I've been a stickler on ever since we've started. Ever since we've started this movement, I've been a stickler on it in Discord, is that nobody owes you their autonomy. All right? Like, I don't owe my autonomy to anybody. Autonomy is the right to self-possession. You don't possess me. It was Jean-Paul Sartre who said, man is condemned to be free. Humanity is condemned to be free. What is meant is that freedom is not optional. Even refusing to choose is a choice. To live authentically, we must take ownership of our own existence, even when others disapprove. And so many people wanted to tell me that they disapproved of the way that I handled old girl. And I wanted to remind them, if you could, check your inbox and see where I asked for your fucking permission of how to deal with people who cross my lines. No, I don't need anybody's permission to exist as me. What kind of lesson am I teaching my kids if I told them, no, just let people violate you as much as they want? No, baby, cross that line if you want to, and see what you get kicked back over there. All right. So no, I don't need anyone's permission to exist as me. And I got to remind everybody, if you don't act accordingly, a part of my life, act accordingly, because I'm going to treat you like the stranger you are. So when someone insists that your humanity must pass through their ritual or their comfort, the refusal not to isn't rebellion. It's philosophy in action. When I say I'm not going, come on now, this good, y'all. I'm not going to submit my life to your bullshit. That's not rebellion. Who the fuck are you to be rebelling against? That's philosophy. That's my autonomy. That's me choosing being over appeasement. The big point is, you don't owe other people compliance. You don't owe them compliance because their comfort is not your calling. But we don't owe each other. Number one is autonomy. I don't owe anybody else that. Number two, are y'all ready? I hate this mic is messing up. Number two, the right to one's experiences, all right? Boundaries. I love it. Yeah, around and found out. Come on, when in regards to boundaries. I don't owe anybody else my boundaries. Literally. I've made it very clear that my personal page is not for debate. My personal page is not for conversations and appeasing other people's curiosity. Y'all want to talk to each other, you do that. I got 4 kids that I have to raise. I lead a movement right now. I don't know if you've noticed. Okay, so I'm kind of busy, so I don't want to talk to everybody about their curiosities. Honestly, y'all, to be honest, I'm not that fucking bored. I got too much to do. All right, so I have boundaries, and I make those boundaries clear. No one can make you inferior without your consent. And that's, oh man, this is good. That's from Eleanor Roosevelt, if you didn't know. No one can make you inferior without your consent. And people will get mad at you when you do not consent to the inferiority that they want you to have. Nope. Each one of us, it was Epictetus who said that each one of us is responsible for his own soul. Your story, your silence, your presence, all of it belongs to you. When others demand your story as proof, they're trying to make your life serve their learning curve. But your trauma is not their textbook, and your truth is not communal property. You don't owe anybody else your lived experiences. This is something that many people go through after deconstructing, is all of a sudden everybody wants, but why? Why did you leave? Why don't you love Jesus no more? Why don't you want to come to church no more? No, you don't owe anybody that. Oh, come on! I hope this is helping somebody. Third one, y'all ready? What we don't owe each other. I don't owe you my authenticity. You say, Darante, I'm uncomfortable because you cussed at somebody. Then you need somebody else to be around, because I am not going to shift who I am to make you comfortable. How overinflated your ego when you're expecting a whole human being that you know relationship with to adjust their life, their identity, who they are for you? No, nobody owes you their authenticity. Authenticity is the refusal to perform. You know, Nietzsche said, he who would be authentic must be willing to be hated. I'm going to say it one more time, because look, it ain't me. Nietzsche said this. He, and I'm paraphrasing, he who would be authentic, they who would be authentic must be willing to be hated. And I'm going to tell you why. Because everybody else is so used to conforming. Everybody else is so used to jumping on somebody else's bandwagon that they despise your freedom. So if you're going to be authentic, if you're going to be yourself, if you're going to refuse to perform, go ahead and be prepared to be hated. You're going to have to be willing to be hated, because people are going to be mad at you that you ain't doing what they feel like they have to do. Oh yeah, this is good. Well, if I was you, I wouldn't have done this. But see, that's the thing. You're not me. That's the thing. See, I'm authentic. I'm not going to change who I am for you. Authenticity requires betrayal of illusions, not people. No, I have to see. Good. This is why y'all hear me. Like, you got to get away from these labels and stuff when you're dealing with people, because authenticity requires betrayal of the illusion. Yep. It calls, you see, there's a thing you think, but it'd be funny when you have these thoughts about who I am and you don't even know me. Watch this. When I stopped praying to please the room, I went rejecting love, I reject performance, right? Oh, this is so good. No, man. So to pretend to participate in your own erasure. You don't owe others your expressed existence on their terms. Man, this is good. You don't owe others your expressed existence on their terms. My expressed existence is the product of my lived experience. You don't get to soften that for your sensibilities, because your sensibilities don't soften my life. Oh my goodness. You don't get to soften my expressed existence because it offends your sensibilities. What I let people know about me, if I offend you, stay the fuck away from me. In the words of Fantasia Barrino, if you don't want me, then don't talk to me. No, you don't owe others your existence on their terms. I hope this is good. I'm still fighting through this cold here. I am coughing in the mic. All right, so fourth one. What's up, Dale? Fourth one. What we don't owe to each other is our integrity. Integrity is the courage to stand. It was said the highest form of morality is not to feel at home in one's own home. I want you to think of, because I had to, of morality is not to feel at home in one's own home, which means even when I'm around things that are comfortable for me, even when I'm around things that are familiar for me, the highest form of morality is to be comfortable and still call out what's wrong. Oh yeah, this is good. So I don't owe unconditional loyalty to a family, to a faith, or a crowd that demands my silence to stay comfortable. Loyalty without integrity is bondage. You don't owe people your unquestionable agreement. Oh, I gotta say that again because that is a problem. You don't owe people your unquestionable agreement because disagreement is the pulse of integrity. If we are always unconditionally agreeing because it is what sounds right, then integrity has already left the room. And a good way to track that is you'll see talking, but you won't see a lot of things getting done. Man, this is so good. Oh, I got some more. I got some more. Number 5, attention. You know, you don't owe everybody your attention. You don't owe everybody your attention. In one of my novels, one of the favorite lines I wrote was a character by the name of Mama Memphis and her boys. Everything's not for everybody. You don't owe everybody your attention. Is the current of the modern world. It was Samuel who said, challenge of our time is to keep attention. The greatest challenge of our time is to keep our attention. If y'all go back and watch Masterminding Your Life Sunday session that I did a few months back, that's what I talk people through, is how to mastermind your attention. We live in an economy of outrage and access, okay, where everyone feels entitled to everyone else's time. But attention is finite, and for me, that shit is sacred. So when strangers expect to use my page to fight their battles or vent their grievances, they mistake visibility for obligation. I'm not owed them my attention. Oh my God. Well, because this is important to me, you gotta do this because I don't even know you. Let's be clear, all right? You don't owe everybody your unlimited attention. Your time is finite. You get to choose where you draw the barriers around your life, around your conversations, around what you will engage and what you will not engage. Nobody else gets the right to come into your life and redraw those lines. Let's continue. Number 6, we don't owe each other our freedom. I like to define freedom as ethical refusal. The first act of freedom is saying no. Okay. Oh, you want to see how mature a person is? Say no. You want to find out how a person really feels about you. See how they handle your no. You got to get real comfortable with no with people. I tell people your no's should protect you. You know what I'm saying? Your yeses should push you forward, and your no's should protect you. So the first act of freedom is being able to say no. You know, it was Albert Camus who believed rebellion begins when a person says, hey, this far and no further. This is the boundary. You cannot cross that. All right. The refusal is arrogance. You know, some are ethics. Goodness, when you don't owe you that, you're defending the space that makes consent possible. You know what I'm saying? I don't owe you that. When you say no, you are defending the space that makes consent possible. That is the boundary between my personhood and hood. Am I a person? Are you treating me like a person who has full autonomy, or are you me like your possession who has to bend to your agenda? I am not the latter. You know, in the words of James Baldwin, I am not your Negro. Find another one. All right, well, we don't owe each other. Whew. Goodness gracious. Wisdom without being laced with bullshit. I love that. Yes. 7, we do not owe each other. We don't owe each other our humanism. There's an equal exchange. Freedom doesn't mean disconnection. It means mutual choice. Okay? The philosopher Martin Buber taught that the I relationship only exists where both parties are free to say yes or no. So assert your no, you are preserving the conditions that make a true yes possible. If you cannot handle my no, you do not deserve the privilege of my yes. I'll say that one more time. I feel like somebody needed that in the back. Who was you that needed that? No, if you cannot handle my no, you do not deserve the honor of my yes. That felt right because there was 2 H's. I'm gonna say it one more time. If you cannot handle my no, you do not deserve the honor of my yes. Okay? When you assert your no, you are preserving the conditions that make a true yes possible. All right? Dang, this is so good, y'all. I love these conversations. So social media blurs the boundary. It tricks you into thinking equity existence. It tricks strangers into thinking that you have equity in your existence. Somehow your existence is impacting them. You know, the follow button is not a friendship, and visibility is not visibility. In public, be private. You can be visible and still be free, because at the end of the day, I am not your mirror, your muse, or your moral project. I'm a person. You don't owe anyone your story, your silence, your allegiance, your agreement, or your attention. And if the world finds that monstrous, then let it be. Monsters are simply those who stop pretending to be tame, if you get what I'm saying. So now that we have that straight, let's shift into the more important question. Now that we've got it down, do you feel liberated? Do you feel free? Do you feel like you can breathe a little better, that you don't have to subjugate yourself to pretense or performance for somebody else's pettiness? No, you don't owe anybody that. And you don't owe anybody. So now let's talk about what we do owe each other. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about what we do owe each other. What I love about this, and we're going to kind of go through the time, it was Thomas Hobbes who said that what we owe each other is the debt of peace. In Leviathan, Hobbes argued that without mutual obligation, life would be solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short. He said we owe each other peace through restraint, a social contract that trades some freedom for stability. The laws of nature oblige us to seek peace and follow it, he said. To Hobbes, our debt to one another is self-preservation through cooperation. You see that? To Hobbes, our debt to one another is self-preservation through cooperation, which means even when you don't like my no, it's your responsibility to learn how to respect it. Okay? John Locke said that we owe each other the debt of respect. Locke shifted the frame from fear to rights, life, liberty, and property. Being all equal and independent, he said, no one ought to harm another in his life, his health, liberty, or possessions. What we owe then is not interference. What we owe then is non-interference and mutual recognition of each person's natural rights. Damn, isn't this good? Okay, Immanuel Kant, let's go a little further. He said that what we owe to each other is the debt of dignity. Kant insisted that every person is an end in themselves, never merely a means. Act in such a way that you treat humanity always at the same time, in not merely as means is what he penned in his groundwork of the metaphysics of morals. Our duty is to respect the rational autonomy of others. I got to say it again. Our duty is to respect the rational autonomy of others, not because of consequence, but because of moral law. You know? It was Jean-Jacques Rousseau who said that what we owe to each other is the debt of belonging. This is why I do the work with Bridge City. In the social contract, Rousseau claimed that humans become fully moral only in community. It says humanity is born free and everywhere in chains. We owe each other the constructive of a just collective will, participation in shaping the world, participation in shaping the moral that we share. that we work on together. It was John Stuart Mill who said what we owe to each other is the debt of liberty. For Mill, freedom is sacred until it infringes on another. Dang, Emmanuel. I love it. I love it. Mill, freedom is sacred until it infringes on others. Okay? Your freedom is sacred until your freedom infringes on mine. We'll use somebody in the chat as an example. Someone came in the chat and says, I have a question that I want to be answered. And they thought just because they had a question that I would stop what I was doing and prioritize them, a random, complete fucking stranger who I don't know from anybody. This is the problem with social media culture. Some of y'all have taken this way too far. Nobody owes you an answer to your question. Some of you are going to have to learn how to be ignored again, because I'm going to be good at it. All right, so the only purpose for which power can be rightfully exercised over any other member of a civilized community against his will is to prevent harm to others. We owe one another protection from harm, the boundary that keeps liberty from turning predatory. Damn, like these are the things we so smart in this community, but we suck at being people. We suck at being humans. We spend our whole lives trying to cannibalize other. It's like there's certain people in the community who wake up and say, who can I eat today? There's certain people in this community who wake up and say, I got to find somebody to tear down. I want no part in that, because what we owe one another is protection from harm. I'm not here to destroy your bag. It ain't mine. I'm here to build, okay? I'm here to build. But then again, it might just be because I'm a humanist. I don't know. Simone de Beauvoir, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right at all, and y'all know I don't give a damn, but it said we owe the debt of recognition. What is it, Beauvoir? I think that's right. De Beauvoir, our freedom is bound up in others' freedom. I used to say, ain't none of us free until all of us are free. It used to be my say, will oneself free is also the others free. We owe each other the work of mutual liberation, not submission. We owe each other the work of mutual liberation. I'm working to set people free my way, and other people are working to set people free their way. I'm not attacking their ways, but I'm not going to change my ways, all right? And the reason I'm not going to, who already know what I'm about to say, is because I don't owe you that. All right. What I do owe you is the work of mutual liberation, which means because we share this planet together, I do owe you the work of trying to do something to make it a better place. And I tell you what, I don't know what other people think about me, but I think I'm doing a pretty damn good job actually bringing joy and peace and wisdom and clarity back to people's lives. And I'm not going to change that. So while I appreciate everybody out there who's chasing Scooby-Doo and trying to find the next villain, good for you. Get all the villains off the street, buddy. Good for you. But I'm not going to submit to what you're doing. That's what you're doing. Okay? Oh, this is good. This is good. All right. It was Martin Buber who said we owe each other debt of encounter. The debt of encounter. And this one I thought about. In I Am Thou, Buber saw ethics as relational, not transactional. All real living is meeting. What we owe each other is presence, to meet others as whole beings, not tools or roles. To meet each other, whole beings. If you have not watched my conversation series on how to human, please go back and watch it. I just redo it, man. But you have got to stop treating people as your boogeyman. You've got to stop treating people as your weapons. You've got to stop treating people as your mechanism. You've got to stop treating people as labels. People, they are entire human beings. They are whole beings, not your tools or your roles. I will always take offense when attempts to tokenize my blackness for their cowardice agendas. I am not here for it. Okay? Emmanuel Levinas said that we owe each other is the infinite debt. Levinas described the face of the other as a moral command. The face is the other who asks and demands, "Thou shalt not kill." We owe an infinite responsibility to the other prior to choice. Ethics before time. It was Art who said we owe the debt of plurality. Aren't helped, but I shared what depends on acting and speaking together. Beautiful quote, we are of the world, not in it. Man, we are the world, not merely in it. As a former preacher, I guess I'm still a preacher. As a former pastor, as a former theological pastor, as a former Christian, we are in the world, not of the world, but no, we're not just in the world. We are a part of the world. We are of the world. The world is a part of the human condition. And so therefore we owe each other the maintenance of the public world. We owe each other truth, for debate, and for difference. I have urged this community since my name became a thing to resist the subtle march towards sadness that turns every conversation into a challenge distance. One of my favorite modern philosophers, says that we owe each other the debt of love and justice. Cornell says justice is what love looks like in public. For West, our moral debt is not just respect, but care. An active, collective, just through what is appropriate, through what is considerate, through what is caring, through what is compassion. And trying to force somebody else to get on your bandwagon is not compassion. And I've said this from every stretch of the way. I've even warned secular people to stop trying to change believers' mind. Instead, create space where when they're ready, they can do it. Because the most damaging thing you could ever do psychologically is to try to change somebody else's mind to your stuff. We don't owe it. And by doing so, we are skipping over the very intention to be human. To be human means to hear. It means to listen. It means to observe, and it means to respond based off of those things. To be human means to respect someone's no. To be human means to respect other people's boundaries, even if you really know. And so the work that I do is I want to encourage people to get their humanity back. And I will not have mine robbed in the process. I will not be your sacrificial scapegoat. I choose strategy over sacrifice every time. I am who I am, and I will not apologize for that. If you cross my boundaries, I will tell you to fuck off. And if you in the secular community can't handle being told to fuck off, you're hypocrites. You're hypocrites. Period. All right, so across these traditions, three threads weave throughout the question. What do we owe to each other? Restraint. We owe not to harm. The moment someone tells you, the moment someone clues you're in, that you're crossing a boundary, that's a boundary for them. The moment you persist to go over that boundary, you are the aggressor. You understand that? Nobody should have to tell you no 15 times. No one should have to explain their no to you. That shit comes off rapey. No, I don't have to have this conversation because you want to. You do not get to rob my humanity. So we owe each other restraint. Yes, this is a really important topic to me, but they seem not to be interested in it for whatever reason. And so because of that, I'm going to respect their boundary and actually find somebody that wants to have the conversation. Is that not something that adults not know how to do? I just thought that was adulting. For me, respect. These are just the three things that we get out of all of these. Restraint, and then respect. We owe recognition of dignity and freedom. Damn. You know what, Darante? It is your right not to want to have this conversation. Damn, Darante, you know what? It is your right not to want this posted under your comments. You should not have to explain to us why we're behaving like 17-year-old or 16-year-old teenagers in high school. I'm not your parent. You know what I'm saying? Go talk to your parents about why you don't know how to act like a grown-up. Don't bring that shit to me. Okay? I'm not your nanny. I'm not your butler. I'm not your two-boogaloo or whatever the fuck else. Okay? And so the third one is relationship. We owe the maintenance of the shared world. Building relationships with people is work. You don't get to choose how people are going to respond to you. You don't get to choose what other people's boundaries are. You don't get to choose what other people's pacing is. You don't get to choose any of that. If you want to be in a relationship with anybody, you have to do the work to respect them. And this is what's wrong with many relationships today, that people don't want to do the work to respect, because respect is not easy. It requires paying attention. It requires understanding. And most importantly, it requires staying on your fucking side of the line. So the humanist conclusion is we owe each other the conditions to be fully human. Safety, honesty, and space to become. Beyond that, everything else is a gift, not a debt. We don't owe you that. And as long as I have breath, I will do my best to model such an existence. Who you are and what you want stops at the boundaries of who I am, because I don't owe you that. I hope y'all have enjoyed today's conversation. We'll join us here next week, same time. Over the next 2 weeks, I told y'all I'll have 2 special guests with me. So keep a lookout on the calendar. I'll be making sure that is up. Man, I'm so glad. Did y'all enjoy today's conversation? I know it was a little different. And this one, look, I was sitting in my office yesterday thinking about, because y'all know I've been letting my face heal up. I fell in a fire pit. Secret's out. I fell in a fire pit, okay? Lost my balance, had too many drinks, and I fell in a fire pit, and I got baptized by fire, and that's how Bridge City SoCal started. But so I was sitting down yesterday, and I was thinking about playing a video, and I think I told my team this at one point. I'm going to play the "You Are Here," or that you got here first, because it was such a great message. But then I saw this drama popping up, and anybody who knows me, if you've known me a little bit, I don't do like for whatever reason, the secular community loves to do this little high gossip clubs where they all get on like little gossip lines. They tried to get me in it a few months ago, and I made it very clear, like, oh, I don't play those games. I'm a grown-ass man with kids. Why would I be out here gossiping about people I don't even fucking know? It has no utility on my life. So I know you like having fun, farting in the bathtub and laughing at the butt shit, but I'm a grown-ass man, and so I'm not going to join you in doing that shit, okay? You know, like, damn, I don't like bubbles in my, no, I do like bubbles. I like fart bubbles, okay? Shit. Sorry. Okay. I don't even know why I got there, but no, so I was sitting down, and I saw this drama, and I said, damn, you know what? I feel like a preacher now. Oh, I'm going to have to preach about it. I'm going to have to demonstrate. And it hit me. I don't owe you that. And I was like, oh, that's such a powerful message. That's such a powerful reminder that, no, we get to choose our existence. We get to choose how we live. We get to choose how we present ourselves. And I don't owe that to anybody else, unapologetically. I don't remember signing up to be your favorite Black person. I don't remember signing up to be your favorite anything. As I remind people all the way, I don't exist for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't do that to me. Okay? All right. And also, y'all, it's official. I'm so glad everybody enjoyed this conversation today, man. It's official, man. Bridge City Global finally has a digital home. Ashley, I did something. I don't know if I was supposed to do it, but I did it. I told him you would probably get mad at me, but I gave everybody the link. I just told them it's bridgecity.app. I just did it again. But I did tell them we don't have a full onboarding process or what all that good stuff is, so I didn't want me to do it yet, but I did it. And so if we see extra people there, it's my fault. So it's official, y'all. Bridge City Global finally has a digital home. So if you're a patron, BC 101 graduate, or you've tapped in, you need to be checking your email to find your invite to the global campus. I'm loving seeing how our team is coming together and the great work that we're doing and helping people find those better ways to connect. Because for us, that's what this is about. It's not to be the smartest people on the block. It's not to be the people who's correcting everybody else. I honestly, that's stuff that I don't like. I don't like when people spend their time policing other people's lives, especially if you have no equity in that person's existence. That's their life. Let them figure that shit out. This is why some of you would benefit by spending some time with the therapist, because then you will realize what good advice looks like. Oh, that was too good. Damn, I'm still preaching. Some of you need to spend time with a therapist, because then you can actually finally realize what good advice looks like. And good advice is not someone telling you what you should be doing. Good advice comes when someone sits with you, listens with you, come on now, and helps you ask your own self questions. Oh, this is good. This is good. I didn't mean to go there, but it's good. But so that's what we exist to do. We exist to kind of help people be a better way to connect. So if you're looking to connect, if Bridge City is what you like, now if you just like to bash Christians, this might not be it for you. But if Bridge City is what you like, if you want to connect with other people, if you want to move your life forward, if you want to work on your personal growth, if you want to find other people with like hearts who love people, even if those people are different, who are willing to protect other people's humanity, Bridge City is the place you want to be. But I'm going to be honest with you. We're looking for workers now, because we're on the edge. I want to play that song. We're on the edge of something incredible. All right. And so, of course, last but not least, if you like to support the work we're doing, there are links in the description to help you do so. You can support us through Patreon. You can support us through Bridge City Global. Bridge City Global has its own PayPal. So for those of you that are members, as a matter of fact, this is what I forgot to do because I've been so flustered this weekend. We're starting Giving Tuesdays for Bridge City Global. A round of applause. I can see you. You was not clapping. Don't be playing. Clap. I'm just playing. But no, we're starting Giving Tuesdays every second Tuesday of the month. In lieu, because we don't make our members pay dues. We don't make our members do any of those things. But what we're going to start doing is on every second Tuesday of the month, we're just going to remind people, hey, here's a great opportunity to give towards Bridge City Global. Here's a great opportunity to support what we're doing. And this is going to support events that we can do. This is going to support projects that we can do. So instead of asking people, hey, you got to give us this every week, or you got to give us this every month, just once a month, we're going to do a reminder for the whole community that, hey, it's Giving Tuesday. Let's do something to make this vision more sustainable. So you have all of that, and for those of you that are already on our global campus, get to that digital platform, you will actually see it on the calendar. And for those of you that are in there, check out the calendar, because there's a lot of stuff on there. And I can't even keep up with all these chats. Y'all are, Mistress Monica, we got to get you in there. I don't know why you're not in there yet. Like, you need to be at bridgecity.app right now. You need to be typing it in, and you need to be doing the start here, because you've been such an incredible blessing to this work that we do. Like, damn, you damn near here every weekend. Like, you one of our regulars at this moment. So I'd love to see y'all in there, and that's open for everybody. I truly do love y'all. Yay! Look at that, man. That is so beautiful. Y'all are amazing. Let me close this thing out. Another exciting thing: we are working on a production team now. So soon, and very soon, I won't have to be the one closing these things out. That's why it's always awkward at the end, because I'm looking at like, oh, what am I supposed to? I'm probably supposed to press something. Oh, there's the QR code on the screen if you'd like to give. I forgot that we do that. So that is available now too. So this is what happens when you're looking at stuff and you're supposed to be talking to people. And I'm just trying to get to my closing moment, and so I can click the right thing. But no, sincerely love y'all. Thank y'all for hanging out with me today. If you want to connect, there's all of the ways to connect are in the description below. For those of you who are part of Discord, I do want to let you know we're going to be transitioning our Discord. We're going to be transitioning away from Discord fully by the end of the year. So go ahead and meet all your friends that you want to meet if you're not coming to the new platform, and y'all exchange numbers and find another server to connect on, because we closing Discord. Dang! boom at the end of the year. I love y'all. Have a wonderful rest of the day. And let me give y'all some music to close out. Since we opened up with Mad, we're going to close out with Mad too. Is that Mark? Is that Mark? Mark, where have you been? That's Mark Coley, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Coley just showed up at the last minute. If you do not know who this brother is, go check out his work. He's a powerhouse, phenomenal, doing great things. I've been trying to get him on the team for a while, but we just don't have the bandwidth. But so glad to see you. I'm gonna give y'all Mad. Obviously, I felt a little mad, so I had to give y'all that one. So I'm gonna give it to y'all again. I did not write Mad for this. I wrote Mad a long time ago, but it's fun. Love y'all. Until next time, keep rising.